A very good morning to you guys. Welcome to Asake Online. This is the Breakfast Club. My name is Brighton. Today we are coming live from Ward 9, that's in Popoma, there, to know more about the ward and to know more about the councillor. And help me to unpack and welcome the councillor for Ward 9. Good morning to you, Councillor Donaldson Mabutho.
Morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm fine. Let's talk about your ward. I know there was a delimitation process. Your ward changed boundaries. Talk more about your ward. How far does your ward stretch?
Yeah, there have been quite a number of changes in terms of ward boundaries. You'll find that initially our ward was stretching from Machoban, Nokzim, right up to Mpopoma High, stretches right up to West Cobb and this flyover. But now you'll find that a certain part of Machoban has been taken and given to Ward 8, and now we've now been given Mabutweni O Square and part of Njube. And you'll then note that now the ward is bigger than what it was. And I'm yet to find the population now with these new boundaries, because the initial population were around 27,400 when we were part of Machoban and Popoma alone.
Councillor, been recalled many times, come back and then being recalled elections by elections and so on. How does that affect your projects for this ward? Now I'm planning to do this for this ward, so I'm being recalled. How does it affect the scope and the plan for this ward?
No, that thing actually affected us a lot. You'll note that this is my 4th time in office, but in 2 terms. I got elected in 2018, 2020 you got recalled. 2 years you are not in office, you then get re-elected again in 2022, and you've got only 8 months before the next election. You get into office in August 2023, you get recalled again within a month in office. 9 December you are back in there. But despite those challenges of recalls, we have tried to do our best. I will note with concern that it affected residents in a great way, because some certain projects were left lagging behind. We had clear programs which we had set for Ward 9 during the period of 2018 to 2023, right? And then 2023 going to 2028. But I must say that within that short space of time, we were able to achieve certain milestones in our ward. You will note that when Machoban was still part of us, Machoban had the problem of perennial sewers. I remember by then we invited the town clerk of the city, Abu Christopher Dube. The engineering director by then was Wabu Smela, who is late, may his soul rest in peace. The deputy, who is now the director of water and sanitation. As you are aware that the engineering department is split into 2. There is now the director of works, director of water and sanitation. So they saw it fit to rehabilitate Machoban sewer. So new pipes were laid, new manholes were put in there. And what we noted by then is that despite the issue of vandalism of our infrastructure by residents, we noted that even our system was outdated in terms of the size of the pipes. You'll know that by then Machoban was reserved for people who were single fathers by then. But the ballooning in population in that area and faced with the size of the pipes which we had. So this is why we had continuous bursts. But now the bursts have been minimized to lowest possible levels. It's here and there, but the situation has been arrested. You will see just here, you see this in Popoma. This is a pharmacy. You see, this pharmacy started 2 years back under the RBF, what we call result-based funding. And as you can see, this pharmacy, air cons have been put, everything has been put. It's almost on 95% complete for it to be officially opened. Just behind the pharmacy, there is a special toilet of people living with special needs. You see, we saw it fit to design that toilet to cater for those special group of people, to make sure that they are recognized in the society and they are well catered for.
I know Popoma, Mabutho and Machoban is one of the oldest suburbs in Bulawayo with the old people, your 80s, your 70s and so on. When we came here before this interview, we had many people outside this office speaking about different issues. How do you deal with these things every day? You know, people have different issues, hunger, money, issues of, how do you deal with these issues as a councillor in Ward 9?
Yeah, I must first of all point out on certain things which I've picked from residents. You know, residents, they think that when they come to the office of the councillor, all your needs are well catered for, you see. And they are not aware or conscious that a councillor is operated with limited resources. There is no special allocation of money which is given to the office of the councillor to. But on humanitarian basis, as a person who grew up here and nurtured here, there are special group of people you will give special treatment. For example, Ukoko comes here, and you can see that genuinely this lady, you know, there is no milli meal. There's a shop here owned by Mandlovu, just across here. A month I foot a bill of between $200 to $400 for these special groups, you see. We have got genuine problems. You come here and I see that genuinely sure there is no milli meal there. There is no sugar there. In particular, the senior citizen, because I'm very passionate with the senior citizen. This is a special group of people where you see that they need special care. Some of them, they no longer have children to look after them. So the only child they only have, they will think of coming to the councillor. You look also at child-headed families. There are quite many here, you see. My office normally assists, right from my pocket, I assist because these are groups I feel that they need special care and special attention. Then comes the other people, you know, at one point in time, two ladies walked in here, they wanted money for Pampers. You see. So I had to ask a question, where are the fathers of these kids? So you'll understand that these were girl children who got exposed and those guys, they ran away after they made them pregnant, you see. So you assist. After all, how much is a pamper? Sometimes you buy $1 for $5, you give them, they go, it serves them for 2-3 days, and that is it. So that's when you then see a huge inflow of residents coming here, because they know that somehow, I may not be able to please everyone at the same time, but they believe that somehow our problems can be sorted out. One day I did a survey. You see, there were over 60 people here. So normally I interview these people outside to say, which group of people we have come specifically for service delivery issues. You will understand, you will know that there are only maybe 5 out of 60 something. The rest, they are crying of hunger, there is nothing at home, there is, you see. So what I have encouraged them now is that when we put them in these community groups, drain clearing, slashing, picking it, I encourage them to say, after getting that little from council, try to open a small business, you see. Try to sell tomatoes, onions, sweets, cucumbers, and what. $100 can go a long way for you if you start something. We as Cllr, and I've seen positive response coming to some of the residents in that regard. So there are also other group of people. Right now, I think I've got 14 vendors. These 14 vendors, I assist them, they assist me. They come here, they bring their quota. This is what councillor I need. If I start business, we'll be making so much a day. So I fund that. At the end of the week, we share the profits, half. My target is that by end of year, I reach 100 as I go. But right now, I'm seated on 14 only. So this is how we are affecting residents in this economy where we have got over 80% unemployment. The economy is bad. Things are not joining out there. You see, yeah. But this office tries its level best to make sure that we assist the residents to the best of our ability. Besides service delivery issues, there are all those issues which trouble them as they.
I know I'm speaking to a politician right now, so the answers are going to be lengthy. Let's try to be brief in terms of a response so that we can get into many questions. There's the issue of water now in Bulawayo. Bulawayo is facing a water crisis. How is Ward 9 coping with this water crisis? What is the short-term solution for water crisis in Ward 9?
Yeah, the short-term solution here, we have made positive strides of late, because this is not the first time we have noted that Bulawayo is a water crisis city. And in Ward 9, I just want to appreciate this group of people. Just across there, Church of Latter-day Saints, we partner with the Church of Latter-day Saints. There is a city council bowl there. So they came and said, Councillor, we can equip that bowl and feed Gampu School and feed the residents of Machobane and the residents of Congo. So there are 3 taps which were installed this other side, 3 taps that other side, and the taps inside the school. They resuscitated that bowl. Residents in that part of Mpopoma, they are drawing water from there. You come at Nkulumane Primary School. At one point, the school head came here with a bill of over 2 million. That was early last year, 2.6 million. Say, this is the bill which my school is faced with. And we thank God for the body of Christ. The Apostolic Faith Church came here and said, Councillor, we want to drill boreholes to assist in Nkulumane Primary School. Because normally in December they camp there, so they drilled boreholes, they put JoJo tanks, they can now open water from their taps, and at the same time, residents are drawing water from there. You come to the Church of Gutaramari Church, where in close contact with Ubabulov, residents are drawing water, especially from that part of Mandebele Flats, Mashasha, from that church, and also Trek Garage. There was a good cooperation from the owners of Trek. You see, residents would go there and be assisted with what. Besides that, Bakers Inn also came on board. Just across by Inyat Youth Center here, they put a state-of-art solar-powered borehole. Residents in this area, the central part of Mpopoma, are drawing water there. Now we are going to Mpopoma. There is a huge borehole there, which is there, but residents at some point, some yesterday installed the armored cable. So we are still looking for partners who can partner us to put that armored cable. There is a JoJo tank, if you look as you go outside, which is installed there. And we look forward to resuscitate that borehole. And in Mpopoma South, we need to drill 2 boreholes. I've been in close contact with Church of Latter-day Saints. They are willing. They are only waiting for paperwork from our engineering service department. They can put 2 boreholes in Mpopoma South. So we feel that these are short-term measures to make sure that in this 120-hour period, our residents can find a water source nearby to draw water, and they will be assisted. It's a crisis which we are in, which we have even spoken with the government to say, no, please, may you declare Bulawayo a water crisis city, so that it can open potential funders to come and assist us.
Speaking of theft of the items stolen from a bowl, right? How are we dealing with the issue of theft in your community, in your Ward 9, and in other areas, there are neighborhood watches and so on? How are we dealing with this issue of theft in your ward?
Actually, we have got 15 sectional heads here in Mpopoma. We have got areas, area 1, area 2, area 3, area what, more sectional heads, Alabosboot. We had a meeting last year, late last of last year, where the officer in charge, the home officer, the CRLO, community relations officer, we met. And we put neighbor teams in all these 15 sections. But in some we faced challenges whereby maybe residents will be raising issues on abantu labelba fagilaba ibabanjan awas chonchela. And also the other major setback has been the issue of incentive, whereby maybe some residents will say, no, let's put 2 rand to make sure that come month and we at least buy meal for these guys. Yes. In some section it is still working, but in some it has collapsed because of no one would want to be awake the entire night. At the end of the day, you don't get. And at the same time, from government side, the police force on its own in terms of resources, there is no allocation which is allocated to these people. But the crime rate had declined because at one point in time, there was a cry on the western side of Bulawayo. It was coming from the office of the dispo there, that no, Mpopoma has got a high crime rate, which then prompted us to activate these neighborhood watch committees. At some point, crime deteriorated. I don't know the statistics now because next Saturday at 12:30, We'll be at Westcom again, meeting with the officers there. I think we'll then get to know the crime statistics in our area. Yeah.
Let's speak of meetings now. I know you've been doing feedback meetings, you're meeting up with the residents. What are they saying about issues that are affecting them? What are the key issues that are affecting them, besides water? What are the key issues that are affecting our residents at Ward 9?
Yeah, what I've noted is that some of the issues which are put forward by residents are not normally within the jurisdiction of council. Those are government issues where we need maybe members of parliament to lobby. But their cry has always been the same. Sewer, water, refuse collection, in the Bama bill. Those are topical issues, especially in Mpopoma. But sewer hotspots, we have minimized them. Sewer hotspots. You know, sometimes you can go for a month without any sewer pest, especially on this other area. You see, we have minimized because we take time to educate residents. Something raised to Taisuya, Tubuka Kanzida, and then we say, but Bagit Aslondolo any sewer yet. You teach them what clogs our sewer, what causes sewer best, besides the issue of our infrastructure, which is now outdated. You see, you find the pamper, various things inside there. At one point in time, we went to that sewer section by Kami there, which has got pipes of this diameter, whereby the director was saying you would pick a TV. Thrown into the system, babies dumped into the system. You see, so there is a lot which contributes to the sewer pest, but we've tried our level best to make sure that we have minimized this sewer pest in our area by educating our residents. Residents need to be educated. Residents need to be conscientized about then water. We all know that, but we have put up these programs which we feel that at some point residents will feel relieved than for them to spend the entire week you have no water source which is close to you. So we have tried our best. Bills, you see, they are responding very well in terms of paying because we don't encourage our residents not to pay their bills. Residents have to pay their bills. But at the same time, on our side as council, we have to give factual bills which reflect the state on the ground. Like in this water crisis situation which we have, maybe residents get water 4 times a month and you'd find the bill doesn't change. So those are some of the issues which we are working on with council management to make sure that we arrested this so that the residents get fair bills, you see. Because one of the things which you have seen that which discourages residents from paying is when a resident receives a ridiculous bill. It actually puts off the residents. So we want to be responsible, we want to be an efficient council. In particular in Ward 9, we work hand in hand with our residents and we don't take lightly their problems. We always speak up on their problems. We always engage council management on their problems, especially on bills. Then there is a certain group also of residents who would cry that, hey, my bill is ballooning. But you check that resident hasn't been paying council for the past 5 years. What do you expect with the accumulation of interest and everything? You see. And also I applaud the system which council has brought on of rebate to the senior citizens, you see, where they come, they fill the forms. Just next to me is the social welfare officers. Social welfare officers are sent to come and see, surely you are a senior citizen, this is how you live. Then there is a certain part of amount which is deducted because you are now a senior citizen. And also that policy also takes care of other groups of people in the ward disadvantaged in the ward, not only in the ward in the Bulawayo, because our credit policy speaks on how these people should be treated. You see. Yeah.
Let's look at the number of schools now that are found in your ward. Are they enough in terms of schools for school children? How many schools are there in your ward? And
right.
Are they enough?
Yeah, they are not enough, especially secondary schools. In terms of primary schools, I'm not complaining. We've got Gampu there just across. We've got Lukanyiso. We've got Mpumelelo. We've got Nkulumane Primary School. But we've got only 2 major high schools, Mpopoma High and Msitel. I remember last year, thanks to the good work and with Mr. Vundla, who is heading Msitel High School, he had to create a class. An additional class. Said, Councillor, there is nothing I can do. Because this is a man who is working with the community, who is very conscious of the problems the community are facing with the shortage of high schools in our area. He was forced to create an additional class. And one day he took me through a tour and said, check, my class has got over, each class, Form 1, has got over 45 students. Some 50 something, you see. So we have got a huge shortage of high school. At least if we get an additional one high school, it will help us. But in terms of primary schools, I think we are okay. Because look now, you have got 2 high schools. Children from Sugamini, it's across, I know it's it serves part of Mabutho now and part of Njube. You have got Nkulumani, Kampu, Lukanyiso, Mpumelelo. And these schools, they've got an enrollment of over 1,400. And when those kids, when they reach grade 7, imagine the pressure which we get. So we've got a challenge in terms of high schools in the area. Ubabu Dubengale, he retired. We went for his farewell, who was heading Mpopoma High School. Good work from him. He used to cooperate very well with the office of the councillor when we bring students there with different various challenges. You would accept them. Yeah.
Not a school councillor, a school of Stammans and Hamba, best chais, but with Valley School to Ashes and in. But now speaking of the capacity that we could bring about 50 children in one classroom, how dealing with them? Issue of water crisis, there's no water in Bola. How dealing with the schools when there's no water?
Yeah, good. One advantage which we have as in Mpopoma, when we saw that we are faced with this sometime in 2019, I would give a good example of Mpopoma High School. The school head came to me and said, Councillor, there are 2 balls there, but they are council balls. We want to be given authority. Number 1, the other ball would fix it, it services residents, and the other ball services the school. Done and dusted. They have no water problem. Similarly with the Gampo, there is no water problem. You go to Nkulumani Primary, no water problem. Ball, I spoke about the Apostolic Church, which put. You go to Mpumelelo, there is a ball. You go to Msiten. So all my schools within, they are equipped with the balls. In terms of water crisis, they are well catered for.
Other problem facing young people across Bulawayo, if you go in every ward, is of alcohol and substance abuse. How dealing with this in your ward? You can call and so on, and how do you deal with that for young people?
Yeah, we have tried our best. Number 1, our major focus has been schools. Because we saw it that this thing is spilled into schools, right? There's a program which we're running with Hockey and also Church of Latter-day Saints. Actually, the plans to put a drug rehabilitation center was now at an advanced stage before my last recall in 2020. You see, donors come and if they are frustrated, they go. But we are planning to resuscitate that. You will note that the issue of drug abuse, what fuels that, number 1, is the situation at home. I want to start with there are abuses which are happening at home. And to forget those problems, decides to get into drugs, right? Second, there is the issue of peer group pressure. You see, and they end up getting into. Thirdly, you'd find that the issue of unemployment. You see, what do you expect? You have got nothing to do. You see, the only thing you think but what we have done of late, we have done interfaces with school children first. Interfaces, we have done it once only. We are planning also to do it because we are saying our priority now are schools, because we've seen kids being affected even from primary to then from schools. We then go to the community. You see, we are bringing people to come and educate these people on the dangers of drug abuse. At the same time, in funerals, I always speak about it. Last Saturday, I was invited. I was a guest speaker at one of the church in Machobane Hall there, and there was a youth conference there. I spoke at length about drug abuse. I spoke at length about good grooming. I spoke at length on how to be a successful young person and accomplished a young person. So we are trying our best as community leaders to make sure that we educate our youths about, not only our youths, even abadala, it's affecting them, you see. We are told them, so we use these gatherings, especially funerals, you see, to talk to them about the dangers of drug abuse.
Guys, if you're just joining us today, we're coming live from Ward 9, where Councillor Donaldson Mabutho is telling us more about his ward and developments that he's planning to do in Ward 9. Now, Councillor, let's reflect on the issue of refuse collection, roads, the state of our roads, issues of our lighting, our tower lights. How is the state of our tower lights, our roads, and also our refuse collection? Are people adhering to the cleanup campaigns that you guys have been spearheading?
Yeah, they are adhering to the cleanup campaigns, but I must start raising on critical things which you have about tower lights. I was shocked one day. I haven't seen the report. We are yet to see the report because the town clerk was raising it. ZESA now is planning to put meters on our tower lights. You see. So we are yet to see that report from our director. It will come. I sit in the engineering committee to say, but ZESA, this is ridiculous. To choose, because these tower lights are owned by city council. So for the tower light to be functioning, it should be used. You should buy electricity to make sure that we light our area. And I said, no. Certain engagements have to be done. Honestly speaking, as a nation, we can't reach that far. You see, whereby tower lights, tower lights, they play a pivotal role in the community. They actually minimize the issue of muggings, robberies, because when the lights are there and, some people are shy of lights to conduct their criminal activities, all those things. You see, we have had situations where people would lose their lives because that tower light is not working, you see, and the thieves, robbers take advantage of that. So this issue of, we haven't reported to residents because that report has not officially come to council. I only heard it, but I know that's what ZESA is planning to do. And when it comes, then we'll then tackle it at that stage. Then the issue of refuse collection. Refuse collection, I must be very appreciative to the executive of Bloy Progressive Resident Association, in particular in Ward 9. It's headed by Ubaba Ouncillor Dube, deputized by Ubaba Khadebe. There is a secretary for environment by the name Ubaba Moyo Usazi. That man is doing a splendid job. Every Friday he walks around the ward to check whether refuse has been collected. In areas where refuse has not been collected, he quickly alerts me. Then I let the responsible department say, no, follow up on this driver, this area. But we have managed to be very effective in that with the able leadership of this residency association, who are helping the office of the councillor to discharge his duties effectively. Those are critical areas. I'm actually more concerned about this thing which I heard about tower lights. Honestly, so I know we'll make some engagements. I know with our able executive at council, we'll be able to make meaningful engagements with ZESA to stop that. Yeah.
Councillor, I'm visiting your ward in Ward 9 today. What some of the great monuments I can go and see? You say, if I'm in Ward 9, I can go and see this stadium, I can go and see this wall. What some of the great monuments that I found in Ward 9?
Yeah, if you go to Mpopoma Park, right? Mpopoma Park, they call it Nketa Park, you see. The council has tried its level best to resuscitate here and there infrastructure, but our major goal this year, actually, we have had donors putting pressure now, headed by Ubaba Uchisiri Muni. They want to resuscitate the Mpopoma Park train. You see. So they've come, we have inspected the train and what it needs, and I'm quite positive that somewhere, somehow, we are going to make a breakthrough in that area. Because that thing, the Mpopoma Park train is very, 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 very key in this. It refreshes, it reminds us of the yesteryears. And if we bring it live now, it will actually trigger what Mpopoma used to be in the yesteryears. Again, if you look at Inyatu Youth Center, you go there, marimba is being played. We've got these youth guys who come, Bambelela, Atsi, what they come there. But in our ward retention, we have said, let's rehabilitate Inyatu Youth Center. You see, let's make it modern. You have seen what they have done to the home craft industry at Mziliga's there, and what they have done at Mabutho Hall. We want this thing to be a state of art, because it's a center for the youths, for culture and everything. You see. So these are some of the key things where you say, if you can't come to Popo, you come around to here, you will see people playing marimba there. You see. You go to Popoma Park, you see, there is that train, of course, it's still locked, and we want to put back, you know, you see, you'll see children coming to visit, to see that this is what we want to bring now, to put Mpopo where it was in the past 30 years, you see, when we were still kids. Yeah, that's our vision.
I don't know, spoke about the state of roads actually in your ward. How's the state of roads in your ward?
Yeah, the roads are very bad. They are very bad. They have passed through their heydays. And because of financial constraints, we are finding it difficult to make sure that these roads are brought back to shape. You will note that the city's road infrastructure requires about $700 million to put it back. But I've noted some notable progresses, which I feel, or I think it will then spill towards, right? When we separated the engineering department, now we've got a director who is specifically dealing with roads. You will note that there are some certain roads now which are being done very well. And we are trying to push that when devolution funds come, right? At least you do 2 roads per ward, per year, if resource permits, through our devolution funds. We want to lobby that as policymakers to make sure that maybe the major highways in the Lapokamba, Chova, Landland, you see, those are the areas we need to start with, especially in Ward 9. Yeah.
There are famous industries, you know what, one of them is called a Spambrigen, industrial site where people do different ventures. How are these areas benefiting your ward in terms of revenue creation?
Yeah, you know, Spambrigen is, there are mixed feelings about Spambrig. Number one, there's been a major cry that the people, most of them who are there, they don't come from Popoma. And people from Popoma are actually complaining to say, you can't have a person from Pumula coming here. But in terms of assisting the community, people buy their wardrobes, sofa, various furnitures, they get it there, you see. And the one thing which I appreciate about this Spambrigen, some people are earning a living from there in this environment which we are in. Families are being fed from Spambrigen. This is why with the Minister of SMEs at one point in time, we said, no, Spambrigen must be a fully fledged industry, and that a bigger site must be availed for Spambrigen, you see, so that these people can then operate in a very, you will see now that they are even encroaching into the park, you see, because everyone is going there to take kanda to earn a living. But as the community is benefiting. Those who are from Popoma, you see, there are some who are a sizable number who is from Popoma, who are actually earning their living from there, you see. And also the community, we are repay sofa, you don't need to go to town. You just take your sofa there. So having Spambrigen here, it's a very positive thing, though it is supposed to be an industrial hub or an industrial project which must be based at the industries there. And one of the key things which we noted is that the reason why these people are there is because it is proximity to the road. You see, that's how they can market their things, and you put them in the back of beyond there, no one would know that they are behind Dave's granite there. So this is one of the key things they have come and pleaded with those of the council to say. This in terms of marketing, you see, we can't be moved here because honestly we will die. Very few people will see us, you see. So we are very conscious about those things, and we will try to assist them in that regard. So what we then agreed is that we need to downsize the population, you see, and leave some there and some are located somewhere.
Councillor, lastly, as we wrap up the show this morning, speaking of making a living, how many community workers are employed under this ward? And how many females are there? How many young people are there? How many males are there?
Yeah. Actually, you know, it's 10. like sweepers, you employ 10, and sweepers, you employ them on 3-month basis. But drain clearing is done once a year. Yeah, and drain clearing, there are 2 groups, 10-10. Then there is grass cutting. It's done once a year, only with a group of 10. So what we normally do is we try to balance. How do we balance this? We make sure that the sweepers, it's a light job. That's why we put senior citizens in there. You see, then the other areas like drain clearing, and slash, it needs youth. But we have tried to be very conscious also to cater for people who are living with special needs to be included in this. You see, senior citizens, they are all in this. Child-headed families, they are all in this, so that somehow, yes, it's not enough, but they can benefit. So you find it maybe a year, we employ overall, we employ about 70 to 80 people a year. You see, yeah. One of the major being, air sweepers, where on 3 months, sometimes you are forced to renew to 6 months because it's not enough. For example, they were getting this RTGS. Now it's converted to ZIG. They used to get $80. It's down to $41. You see. So you'll find that sometimes I just need to extend with another additional 3 months. So we normally take into consideration the people who are at need at that particular time. Those people who are vulnerable, those are the people we fit in there, in those projects which you do. Yes, road patching, since I assumed the office, it has never been done in Popoma. But the previous council used to get community groups to do road patching in the ward. I think this is because of the issue of resources. You see, our coffers are ailing. So I think that is what has halted the project to be happening on a yearly basis.
Councillor, in closing, what can you say to people from Ward 9? I know there are many challenges that are facing issue of water. People are like, no, where do you get water? Issue of roads, as you stated, issue of drug and alcohol abuse. What can you say to them? Again, issue of payment of bills. Some are not paying their bills on time. What can you say to them? Speak to them.
Yeah, what I can say to the residents of Popoma is that, yes, we are here and we work very closely. These are the masters of this great ward. These are the masters of direction. And we work to the best of our ability to make sure that they get quality services. Look, they are well catered for. They are raised even at council, and they see evidence that the councillor is raising these critical issues, like what you know, that the councillor acts as a bridge between council and the residents. So yes, we have got these challenges, but we'll try to the best of our ability to make sure that in water challenges, you see, we try to minimize by making sure that there is a bowl which serves a certain group of people in an area. That one, we promise it has started. We have made strides in that regard. The issue of roads, this is what we are pushing with. When devolution funds come, we will actually push with important, at least even one road, it will be, if per year, it's enough, you see. Then coming to the issue of the water retention, we have said, because we have agreed with the residents of Mpopoma, the proposal was sent that we need Inya to the Center to be refurbished. We need the sporting facilities of Inya Center to be refurbished. And together, I know we'll make it with the residents. They are listening residents. They love their council. And one thing I always speak with them, even who council, even in our community feedback, let's pay our bills. Even if the money is not enough, even if you have got $1, we want you can come and pay $1. It makes a difference. Thank you very much.
Councillor, thanks so much for warmly welcoming us to Ward 9. Thanks so much for your time this morning.
My brother.
Well, we've been watching the Breakfast Club, coming live from Ward 9 with Councillor Donaldson Mabutho there, telling us more about his ward and his plans for future in terms of developing this ward. Hope you guys enjoy the show, and please do pass your comments and your feedback. We're coming to your ward next. Hope you enjoy the show, and also wait for us to come to your ward. Pass your comments via DMs, pass your comments via different platforms that we have aside. Hope you guys enjoy the show. For myself, Bright, it's bye for now.